What is your name?
Alberto.
Jessica.
Mariah. Bella. ¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Vicenta.
Evan.
And what's your favorite part about school?
Playing on the iPads.
Third grade as the benchmark, but research really shows that if they're not reading, ideally at grade level, by third grade, they're not likely to ever catch up. The odds are very great that they will not catch up, that they will not graduate from high school, that they will not succeed in life. The odds increase dramatically that they'll be in prison. I mean, it's not a cause, but it's a predictor.
After school, I teach an intervention program that's focused on basic math skills, and I was focused at first on word problems, and then I realized that the reason that they can't do the word problems effectively is because they are not comprehending what they're reading.
A child will not do well in school if they're not able to read. And if they're not going to do well at school, they're going to find something else they're good at. And none of us keep pursuing things if we're going to fail at it. We're smart enough to know I'm not going to try if I'm going to keep failing. I'm going to find something I will succeed at. And that's often not what we want kids being successful at. And so just in the short run, we're going to lose them. And we're going to lose them early. And they're going to continue to find other things that work rather than schooling. We're in a community of high need. That said, we're in a community with enormous commitment. And that's really important to recognize. And there are so many people who care so deeply about education in this community, the educational future of children. There's enormous goodwill.
Good evening, Superintendent Washer, President Castle, and members of the Lodi Unified School District Board of Trustees. On behalf of the Junior League of San Joaquin County and our major partner, the Creek Family Foundation, I am pleased to present you this check in the sum of $52,323.86 for the purchase of iPads for the following two classrooms: Teresa Lundbland's Claremont School first grade class and Nicole Milligan's Lakewood School third grade class.
The Junior League came and gave us iPads, and it started getting more fun.
The students are more engaged using the iPads. They just can't wait to get their hands on them.
It allows us to maximize our instructional minutes. It gives them the instant feedback. It gives me the instant feedback.
We wanted something that was going to be very easy for students and teachers to learn how to use.
And also, that's the way children learn nowadays. They learn through technology. That's what they're used to handling. Their parents started them probably on their smartphones when they were 3 and 4. Here, watch Elmo on my smartphone, or that's what they're used to. They're motivated by the quick feedback.
What I've been most aware of is first how natural they seem to be for children, and how very engaged they are with them, and how easy it is for them to use them. People of my generation who were used to keyboards and using a mouse and everything, it's a little freaky. We don't necessarily always touch well. Like I'll over touch or double touch or something, and I love using it, but I don't yet have the right. And children seem to have that naturally.
Because on the paper, you just have to write it down, but on here, it's where the numbers are, and it's way faster.
I'm just glad I don't have to sit down and do as much regular work. The boring pencil, I just get tap stuff.
Much more engagement with the iPads. The average third grader probably has about an 8-minute attention span. You have to be changing activities, but with the iPad, they're able to stay with an activity 12, 20 minutes. They're able to. I had to give them more time. Actually, today we were working on a vocabulary activity, and we used to do this before the iPads. We would do this on paper, which was exceedingly frustrating for the children who have limited writing abilities at this time. And so now we do our word squares. They search the internet and find their word, and they record their little script. And I gave them 12 minutes to do it, and they were begging me for more time, so I ended up having to give them 10 more minutes today. And so at 22 minutes on one vocabulary project, no, I have to finish this, Mrs. Milligan. That's phenomenal. You would never get that off a piece of binder paper and a pencil.
What's your favorite part about coming to school?
The iPads. The iPads, using the iPads every day.
So it seems to just be magical for kids, and that's actually in and of itself is an important factor in promoting literacy. Is children have to be engaged. They whatever they do, they have to be engaged with it. And I think tablets have all of the components. They can move at the speed of a child. They are visually appealing. They're easy to use. You can have audio. You can have all sorts of options for kids. It's interactive. So I think they're a great concept.
It's just beyond my wildest expectations. I knew it'd be good, but I didn't know it was going to be this good.
What was it like when you first got the iPads in the classroom?
I was like, yes!
They're much more interested. They're happy to do their work as opposed to, oh, word squares again. It's more like, yeah, I need more time, please. Let me have more time.
The best day for me in the classroom.
Can you explain why? Why was it the best day for you?
Because we never had electronics, like only the computer when we had points to do, and then you guys came with the iPads, and I was like so happy because I never had an iPad.
All the children say is, oh, you have iPads, oh, you're so lucky. And then when they realize they get to use them, they're so excited and they want to come to intervention. So the question's no longer, do we have intervention today? Do you have a meeting maybe? Or you don't look like you're feeling good. Maybe you should go home, Mrs. Milligan. It's now, are we having intervention today? Yes.
This helps me spell.
Were you good at spelling before?
Not that much. Because I'm not really that good at like times tables that like when it's like really fast and they just ask you but I've gotten better with the iPads. It made me feel so happy because I really even don't get 100% sometimes.
One of my students was not able to write one sentence with a capital and a period and have it make sense. He could write words related to the subject, sometimes not exactly related to the subject. And we had just started working with the iPads. It was our first time of using Google Docs, and so he would he would type something, and just the act of typing got him to put a little more on paper. And I would give him some feedback, and he would correct that because it was highlighted and he knew just what to do. And we kept going back and forth, and by the end of the week, he had banged out a 3-sentence paragraph, and some of the words were not spelled correctly at this point. A couple of the words had misplaced prepositions, but to me it was magic because I was able to understand what he put on paper. It had 3. And he always was resistant. He never wanted to write. And all of his papers that he would write, they would be crumpled up and thrown in the recycle bin every Friday when he would leave. He never took anything home for his parents to see. I'm getting quiet, I'm sorry. And he said on Friday, he said, please, Mrs. Milligan, could I please print out 2 copies, one for you, but I really want to take one home to my mom. And so that's when I was absolutely sold. I said, this is gonna make a huge difference. And I've seen so many children in their writing, they've gone up a level in their writing. Maybe they're not perfect yet, but just in this half year that we've had it, they've gone up. And now, if that was the first week, now he can write a 4-sentence, and he capitalizes the word I now, and he puts in sensory details, and it's amazing.
Do you feel that you're ready to go into 4th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just we did everywhere we go, we did get the iPads.
That would be nice.
Yes, it would.
This is the way it's going. I think we all know that. even if we don't want it to go that way. And a lot of their writing, keyboarding skills are going to be so important if they're going to have a job in the future or be successful in college. They're going to need to know how to use the technology that they find in the office.
Technology could literally personalize, it could differentiate the experience for every child. It could personalize the experience for every single child. And one of the tricks is you want to make it stretch. Every child needs to be slightly stretched. In a classroom with one adult, say, and 25 kids, what you end up doing is sort of aiming for the middle, so that the kids at the high end are often not quite as stretched. The kids at the lower ends are often very frustrated, feel like failures, and they're the ones we lose. But what do you do with 25 kids? With technology, you can address all of those in a very graceful way.
These iPads are probably the coolest thing in this entire classroom. I love them, and school will probably be the boringest thing on earth without these. I just love them.
I wish that every class could have the iPad cards. I do, and it's such a blessing. I'm so blessed. I'm so humbled and so thankful that y'all picked my name to receive these iPads, because I can't begin to describe. It's made me closer to the teacher who I want to be, who I've always wanted to be. So, never want to teach without him again.